Wait till I start talking, por favor. Thank you, bro. Now, was that food? Was that food good? Was that food good? As the great poet laureate Meredith Johnson would say, that's so good it'll make your gums swell. Um, We're going to close our program tonight. I know we have a couple folks out of the room, but they're here in spirit, and this will be live on Facebook. Please follow us on all platforms at Dallas House Foundation. Please and thank you. We are going to wind up with our guest speaker. Every single year we get somebody who reaches out to us, and it was almost like they wrote the theme and they bless us with just their life experience and just an honest story. And I feel like having someone tell an honest narrative is one of the hardest things to find nowadays. Our guest of honor tonight, I'm going to tell you a little bit about this person who's been in my life ever since I could remember. Miss Cindy Lloyd is a lifelong, I need to use the official title. Deputy Mayor Miss Cindy Lloyd, her honor, of Bloomfield, is a lifelong daughter of Bloomfield whose public service journey began at home. She's a product of Bloomfield's nationally recognized schools, and she was the first woman of color hired by the Bloomfield Police Department. Yes. She kept on bursting because in 2002 she broke ground as the first female chief of security for Hartford Public Schools. 100 school special police officers she led across 42 schools in an insane bureaucracy. That's my insertion. The past 17 years she's applied those skills as a special investigator for the Office of the State Treasurer. And our young people, that means she's valid and she's vetted and she ain't got no dirt on her name. And that means a lot these days. Yeah. You gotta live a certain way to do those things. Her first vehicle, I heard a rumor. Maybe I'll let her tell it. I know too much. I got inside. Her first vehicle was on 2 wheels. It was a motorcycle. And she lives life like that, just kind of open, free. She loves fine dining, dancing, travel, and her guiding belief is simple. Strong, safe communities start with informed hearts and generous hands. Ms. Lloyd is, after she do a little straightening, It's all good.
You gotta go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Like now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, back. Look, it takes a village.
Thank you.
Yeah, it takes a village. Love it. Ms. Lloyd is going to give you her personal narrative based on our theme this year. Ms. Lloyd, if you would, please. And she kept me out of Bloomfield police office. I don't know how many times. Thank you so much.
I kept you out because of my dear sweet friend
Yeah.
Barbara. Less about me. What I will say is I am a daughter of Bloomfield. I bleed orange and blue. Born and raised. Every time I tried to leave, something called me back. Whether it was the job and then living in Windsor, whether I lived there and worked there, whether I lived somewhere else and been a businessman, but he gone, y'all. Anyway, but Miss Barbara always brought me back. She really embraced me, loved me, immediately adopted me. I don't have enough words tonight to tell you about how special she was to me, but she was quintessential Bloomfield. And I say that Bloomfield is not being born and raised there, although it helps. It's a Bloomfield state of mind. And I say that because, man, so many things that I wanted to touch upon, but was said earlier by Miss Deborah. But boy, she hit a lot of things. But community is the main thing. And Barbara was community for me in the Bloomfield Police Department when people like me weren't necessarily welcomed. So I had it hard, and I said, I'm not leaving here. They were trying to run me out. I said, no, that's not a Bloomfield state of mind, okay? Because they were going to give my money away to somebody else, probably with testosterone if I left. And I said, I'll be doggone. So only because of the blessing of the Lord that put me there, I was looking for tuition reimbursement. Even though my father was a Bloomfield officer before me, he was the first black male. Bloomfield raised me. Bloomfield schools, Bloomfield community, Bloomfield police, helped me get my education. So when I say I owe just about everything to my family, to my extended family, and to Bloomfield, I really mean it. So I want to pick up on some things that Ms. Deborah said, and the theme being around gun safety, right? And she took it from the perspective of gun violence safety, prevention, and all things community. So I want to touch upon that aspect of it. So what I'm going to speak to you tonight on is firearms awareness, target practice, taking aim at unity. And so in this climate, I'm going to divert a little bit, so I'll skip over some things because the food was good. We don't want to fall asleep, right? We don't want to fall asleep. But I'm going to say the level of disunity, this is off script, in this country. I'm not a crier. I was a tomboy. I was a cop. It brings me to tears, the disunity in this community, and I mean our global community, not just Connecticut, not just this country. We are not going to have food for some of our residents as of today. But we can send 40 billion to Argentina or wherever that money went. We have to take aim at unity. And so in doing so, we're going to be able to reclaim our community, both local, federal, and global. So it's an honor and privilege to be before you tonight, not just as a former Bloomfield Police detective. I was a firearms instructor. Not impressive, because once you're the first, everything you do, it makes you the first doing it. But I was blessed to have a lot of experiences through Bloomfield PD, including firearms instructor, so I'm well versed in firearms safety, SWAT team, anything I was signed up for that they would let me do, I did it. It's a journey that mirrors so many stories that build our community and our country. Firearms awareness, target practice, taking aim at unity, is about more than safety and skill. It's about precision of purpose, about knowing what we aim for and why. It's about discipline, awareness, and control, not just our hands, but with our hearts. You know, before we get serious, I'm gonna start off light before we lift heavy. So, you know, we've all seen disunity. Let's talk about the family cookout. All right. And everybody's supposed to bring one dish, y'all, just one. But Cousin Ray, who can't grill, has come and taken over the grill. Lisa brings 2 different potato salads and critiques everyone else's. And by the end, half of us are too full, half of us are mad, and nobody remembered the paper plates. That's disunity, right? So there was a disconnect. So that's the spirit, unity, that makes our community strong. We're lacking a little bit. And like neighbors who come together for block cleanup, Bloomfield every year does the Bloomfield Cleanup Day. The churches that organize coat drives right now, everybody that is pulling together to bring together people who are experiencing food insecurity. These are all moments of cooperation that builds bridges stronger than any other policy could. Policies are great, but people is what make it happen. All right? So in law enforcement, I've learned that accuracy saves lives. I was gonna ask for a whiteboard because I wanted to draw for you guys what it looks like when you're on target. And there's sights on the back and the front of the weapon, right? So the back is kind of like a U shape. And then the front, where you look down over that piece of equipment, because the kids are in here, the front has one little bar, and you have to precisely line it up to be on target. But when we're not lined up, what happens? When we move as one, we take aim at unity, our potential is unstoppable. When we are disaligned, we can't do much. It leads to destruction, but unity builds, unity heals, and unity protects. So our people have always known struggle, but we've also known strength. From plantations to the picket lines, from Selma to today, we fought for dignity, justice, and the right to stand tall in our humanity. Frederick Douglass once said, if there's no struggle, there is no progress. Rosa Parks taught us that quiet courage can move mountains, right? Martin Luther King dreamed of a day when we will be judged by the content of our character, and we are still striving, not the color of our skin. Malcolm X reminded us that education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it. He was also kind of gritty, y'all. And so a little sidebar, I shouldn't do this, but he's explained that I'm a little bit of a motorcycle, first vehicle, I've skydived. I'm 20 years a union steward, and I really love tapping in to issues of injustice. So I jokingly call myself a thug for justice. Right. And those who know Bloomfield know we was the bougie kids, but we used to sneak over to Harvard, y'all. So we got a little hood with us, we got a little boogie. Right, we bougie, but we know how to protect ourselves, right? So in our own time, we will continue the legacy every time we host a community peace walk. Every time a local business partners with the schools to mentor young people, when firefighters, police officers, and residents share a meal together, which you do see that in the community in Bloomfield, right? I also know that Harvard has had a very robust community partnership for years. They still got folks walking the beat. There's a reason for that. It's for community connection. It's to break down barriers. It's to humanize those people that are supposed to protect us, and most of them do. We have a very small percentage of rogues that create disunity. A very small, I mean, honestly, I'd have to say like well less than 10%, but they're so omnipresent. They're so omnipresent, and their actions wreak havoc. That's because of disunity. And we have to hold them accountable in unity and collaboration to the things that Ms. Deborah was talking about. So firearms awareness, a deeper meaning. As a firearms instructor, I taught control, responsibility. Handling a firearm is never about aggression. It's about awareness. It's about your target, understanding your surroundings, and respecting the power in your hands, and the same power we all have in our hands. This discipline also applies to life. We have to take aim deliberately at real threats in our communities: ignorance, division, hate, and fear. So how do we do that? We have to take aim at despair with hope. There's hope in this room. Doll's House every year and throughout the year brings hope to people. You just brought hope to some recipients of your scholarship that no matter how much has inspired them and touched them in ways well beyond probably your years. They'll be talking about it when we're like this, right? Just pushing along. It's the little things that create that unity. We have to teach dignity and respect. Our children are watching us. They're learning not just from what we say, but how we carry ourselves, how we treat one another. We have to teach them the power of their dignity, the quiet strength of respect. Let's teach them that their worth isn't determined by others' opinions, but by their own purpose. Let's model discipline. In our speech, our actions, and in our service, we can stay on target. We're going to show them unity through school partnerships, mentorships, community service days, where families side by side come together in unity to show them something better than what they see every day on the news, or unfortunately for some kids, what they see when they walk out every morning on the sidewalk or on the corner. Taking aim at unity is building an unshakable resolve. It doesn't mean we all think alike. I'm in Bloomfield politics. I got on my bulletproof vest right now, y'all.
Right.
For those that know about Bloomfield politics, okay? But we don't take aim at each other. We don't have to all think alike. But what we should do is disagree agreeably, right? And it means we recognize that every life, every culture, every color has a purpose in the greater picture of humanity. When we take aim at unity, we're not ignoring our differences, we're aligning our purposes. We're saying that love can be louder than hate. Progress will be stronger than prejudice. And the peace will be more powerful than fear. So especially now with the disruption of SNAP, every food drive, every interfaith dialogue, every community vigil, everything that we can do to create unity is imperative. We're a community in peril, y'all. I just can't imagine all the money that goes overseas, and we're gonna have neighbors who are hungry, right? So what do we have to do? Call to action, a message of hope. I challenge each of us to adjust our sights, right? So I'm gonna show you what it looks like. This is the back, this is the front. Okay? But if I'm not lined up, I'm like this. This is unity. I'm on target. When I aim, I'm going to be successful in whatever I'm aiming for. If I'm over here, over there, stuff goes astray. And you know what happens when those projectiles go astray? Somebody innocent gets hurt. Somebody innocent gets hurt. Somebody innocent gets left behind because we weren't on target. With unity, we're going to be on target. With unity, we are going to collaborate. Collaboration, what does that look like? Today, just today. So it's another little sidebar. We had about 5 to 6 organizations that asked last minute the town manager of Bloomfield to come together, use a space in the town hall to come together on the hurricane relief for Jamaica. We have a very, very big West Indian and Jamaican community in Bloomfield. And he's half Jamaican, but even if he wasn't, he would have done it. He opened the doors to the town. We had the West Indian Foundation, we had the West Indian Social Club, we had another West Indian organization, we had, Elevate Life, and probably 3 other organizations that came together, and they weren't all West Indian. We had a Latin brother that was there and said, we came and stepped up for him in Hartford when Puerto Rico had their hurricane. And he proclaimed, I'm gonna be here for you and the relief efforts for Jamaica, right? That's the call to action. It's local. I don't know. Show of hands. Who feels they have control down in Washington? Nobody but me? Okay, I feel, see that little boy, he knows too much. I gotta stop talking about the orange man around him. I feel out of control with what's going on. I feel I have no control. But we can control what goes on locally. So if you feel you have an impact here, raise your hand, if I said that one correctly.
Oh, yeah.
This is where the work happens, y'all. What happens in Washington is because next summer, we're gonna be voting for our congressmen and our senators down in Washington. I'm not gonna big up who I want, but what I will say is experience matters, especially with the administration in Washington. We need to retain our stronghold. But right now, people are voting on their local government. That's your taxes, that's your benefits, that's the senior center, that's the youth services, that's youth mental health that Ms. Deborah was talking about. That kids are falling by the wayside for so many reasons. They're getting drawn into stuff on the streets. They're getting drawn into negative influences, peer pressure. They have trauma. And so I know there's a big initiative in Bloomfield where we specifically not only put dollars into youth and social services and senior services, but specifically dollars within the last couple of years for youth mental health. Our kids with social media are dealing with a level of pressure we never had. We used to go out and ride our bikes. There wasn't even a beeper, y'all. I wasn't really worried about, unless someone was DUI, I really wasn't worried about the cars hitting me. I wasn't worried about it. These kids have so many woes, so many worries, just stepping out their house, right? So I challenge us to adjust our sights. Focus not on what divides us, but what unites us. Take aim at unity with the same precision, patience that you use every day when you're tending to your family, concentrating on your job, building that business, and working tirelessly for a worthy nonprofit like Doll's House. When one of us rises, we all rise. When one of us breaks through, we open doors for the next generation. I'm a little worried, y'all, but I have to do it for him. And hopefully he'll see the works of people in this room and he'll do it for his children, his great-grands. We stand on the shoulders of giants, black, white, Latino, purple, green, blue, not orange. That's what's going on now in Washington. I digress. But we stand on the shoulders of giants. And it's our duty to make sure our shoulders are strong enough for those who come next. Our children and their sheer existence relies on it. I thank you. I encourage you to love one another. I'm quoting Mr. Bennett from the Humanities Commission Thursday night, a wonderful event. I grew up with his children, and he said, what is his secret to longevity and success in his life? He said, love one another. Thank you.
Want to thank you for your service and thank you for taking the time to be with us. We know we had to reschedule. We appreciate everything that you do for the community and for being here with us to celebrate Doll's House.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And one good turn deserves another. So I donate this to Doll's House. I thank you so very much. I love and appreciate
How about one good turn deserves another?
It's like when they play spades, they just send books everywhere.